Hello, everyone, and welcome to the weekly Unfolding Word update. Thanks to all of you who made it to our Translation Academy and Tools workshop last week. Thought it went off really well. The responses we've got on the survey have been mostly positive. We hope to follow up with more learning. We don't know what that's going to look like just yet, but if you have specific questions, hit me up on Slack or hit other people up on Slack, either through direct message or the general channel. Make sure to use the @ symbol to alert the person you're trying to talk to, though. First of all, I guess for the updates today, we're going to go over to Tim, who is newly back in the States, and I'm sure very celebratory of that. Tim, what do you got?
Alrighty, yeah, it's good to be back in the U.S. and I've been a little concerned to come back onto the video calls, lest I be wearing the wrong shirt and I get comments in the general channel again about wearing the same shirt multiple times, stuff like that. So I'll try and keep that in mind. No, really, it is good to be back. We're back with the family now in Orlando and getting things set up here. So good to be more directly connected with the rest of the Wycliffe Associates team based here in Orlando, and it's really cool to see a lot of you guys at the workshop this past week. Really excited for what we learned in the process. Just this may be clear, it maybe isn't, but just to make it clear, the goal is to take that basic high-level process overview that we covered in the workshop and take that core information and regionalize it as soon as possible. And that is, we're not going to be doing the regionalizing. We want to work with the regional teams to basically adapt the content for effective use in each region of the world. So we're going to be working with the strategic platforms guys to come up with technical teams who can manage some of the technical side of things, as well as the networks and the education services, just to get everyone on the same page and get that core how-to information out there. Really cool to see Translation Studio 3 in the wild, actually in use. That represents an awful lot of work for some developers, and I think it's going to be a significant improvement. Also looking forward to getting the desktop version up and running. One of the big takeaways from the workshop for me was getting some feedback from what are the felt needs on the field, people using the tools, what is needed. One of them that came up is printing. We've kind of seen that one on the horizon. It's going to be something we're going to try and prioritize and figure out how can we make that possible, just to get draft printouts straight out of Translation Studio, or at least with as little pain as possible. Guys, what else am I supposed to cover here? Anything that I should be addressing?
No, I think you're good.
Oh.
Anything? Yeah, go ahead.
One more thing. Quality assurance. Some are aware that there's a significant amount of conversation happening on the quality assurance model. Good conversation, good stuff that we have to get this figured out, because there's no roadmap where we are, where we're going, and it's been helpful in recent conversations realizing that the initial model, so it's been through, what, 17 revisions, something like that, has merged the authority and the process as kind of two entities overlapping, two concepts overlapping, and with no effort made to address those separately. What we're finding is that we specifically underspecified the model. We didn't want to try and sit, back somewhere and try and write a comprehensive everything addressed. We wanted to kind of sketch the general outline and then get it out into real-world use and find out what's needed. So far, so good. What we found is that as more people use this new QA model, this church-centric approach, church-centric authority, but with underspecified process side of things, not surprisingly, there was a felt need for greater clarity on some of the procedural aspects. In the process of refining, clarifying, providing additional information on the process side, so how do you do checking? What are the steps involved? It's becoming maybe clear, or maybe at least we're considering at this point, what if we were to explicitly pull those apart and describe the authority model and then describe the process. So what is the procedure? How do you know? How do you check with confidence? How do you check reliably and get trustworthy results every time? And making those much more explicit. So anyway, just keeping everyone in the know. That's where the current line of thought is going. We don't have anything formalized yet. It's just in the discussion phase. But obviously, as always, any questions, ideas, feedback, Slack is probably the best place to hit us up with that, and we would love any input. All right, now I think I'm done.
Very cool. Thank you, Tim. Next, we're going to go to Jesse in the technical realm. Jesse, what do you got?
Yeah, thanks. Tim stole all my updates, so I don't have anything.
What? I've never done that before.
Not really. I do just want to add my thanks to everyone who came to the workshop. It was great. It was great having so many people using the different tools in the same room, and just hearing some of the frustration, some of the feedback, some of the good things as well. So we're very happy, as Tim mentioned, with this new design of Translation Studio, and we're looking forward over the next month or so to really tightening the screws on it and fixing the last few pieces that we hadn't quite got to yet. Tim also mentioned printing. That's definitely something that came through loud and clear, is that we need a way to print out of Translation Studio, so that's at the top of the list there. We've added several issues out of the workshop to Translation Studio and also to the larger publishing process. So we're looking at how we can make that whole publishing process smoother and easier, requiring less steps. So that's the direction we're headed. We're talking right now about our quarterly objectives, so we'll have those aligned and published pretty soon, so you guys can see the direction that we're going and we're trying to accomplish. You can be expecting an unfoldingWord app release. I'm thinking in maybe about 2 weeks is what it's looking like right now. A few more things to fix there. But this next one will include audio for Open Bible Stories and then also video. So at least for English, you'll be able to actually listen to the English audio and watch the videos as well. Those are extra downloads that you'll have to do in the app, but those are on the horizon.
Cool.
Yeah. As always, if you have any questions, ask us on the Help Desk channel or send an email to help@door43.org, and we're happy to help. Thanks.
Hey, Jesse, real quick.
Yeah.
One of the things that came out in a meeting this morning is just the need for technical teams in each of the regions. This is becoming an urgent need that basically can do all kinds of things, from training on how to use the tools to figuring out what to do when we get content inbound that's in a format that's not directly importable. That is, here's a Word document, it's a full New Testament translation, what do we do now? Well, there's a lot of work that goes into, okay, yeah, what do you do now? You're going to have to get that in the right format. So anyway, just to signal everyone watching this that that's an urgent need, and we're going to need a number of these people all over the world, and basically I think the right term would be hackers. I mean, we need people who, they're not actually programming an app, but they're going to need some basic technology skills where they have some scripting language or something like that that they can massage text, get it into the right format, and just a general understanding of how the process works, not just at a surface level, but under the hood. Here's the technologies that are being used, here's why, and here's how to interact with them. So I know that's not news to you, Jesse, but it did come up, and that's something that we're going to be actively building out with strategic platforms.
Yeah, that's a great point. Data conversion is huge. Format conversion, format shifting is what it takes a lot of time when you get a document that's unstructured. It makes sense to us as we read it, but it's difficult for a computer to read it, and so we have to convert it into a format that the computer can understand, and hence then we're able to publish it into a variety of different formats and make it go, whether that's in the unfoldingWord app or PDF. But we have to have it in a machine-readable format before we can send it out like that.
So along those lines, quick question: are we building any kind of a library of scripts that people have already written that can be a starting point? So I was thinking we should have, here's these 3 real-world texts. Write a script that converts it into this, and you'll know you got the right stuff. And then I'm thinking, well, something like that probably exists out there. I don't know if we have a Git repository or anything like that, but some place where people can at least not start from scratch.
Yeah, the tools repository on GitHub, so that's
okay.
github.com/unfoldingword-dev/tools. That is where most of those scripts reside. Unfortunately, it's difficult to have a consistent inbound text. Right? If we had a consistent inbound text, then it would be solved, right? So, although there are snippets in there that would be helpful, there's unlikely to be, your exact fit, what you need.
You'd probably have to hack what the inbound is, but then if you have consistent export, routines already written. Anyway, that's far more technical than anyone else is going to care about, but it's a huge need. So.
That's right. Yep.
Thanks for humoring us, Leo. What's next?
Of course.
You look
as always, Jesse's technical update brought to you by My Little Pony. Next, we got our content update. So Perry, probably just Translation Academy notes all the different Bibles and everything we're working on. What's going on with those? I know there's a lot of stuff being worked on and new, hopefully, releases happening this quarter. But what's up with that?
Well, the Bible texts, the ULB and the UDB, are very close to being done. They should be done in the next week or so. Am I still on?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Picture froze there. And there still going to be some tweaks to those as the notes team goes through and writes notes on them, and they'll be making some adjustments to the text. But there are several books that do have the notes already written, so if you're looking to start translating, I would recommend going to those books that have the notes written. They'll be much more stable than the others. The others won't be unstable, but there will be updates, and so we'll be putting version numbers on those as we go. But as with Open Bible Stories, the updating will not be a painful process. We'll keep track of all changes, and there will be change logs that you can just look at. So just be aware of that. Don't be upset that there are some changes, because we'll keep track of those, and you'll just need to have somebody who can do an update once in a while.
Hey Perry, just to jump in real quick, I did just yesterday. I republished or updated the different texts from the books of the Bible. So if you were to do an update in the Unfolding Word app or in Translation Studio, you would get the latest available.
All right, great. Translation Academy Volume 1 is ready. Again, there will probably be some updates as we go along, but it's basically ready now. We'll be working on Volume 2 going forward. Anything else?
No, I think that's it. Obviously, hit us up on Slack out there for the rest of you. I mean, we want to be addressing the burning questions that are there. So, like I said, successful workshop. Certainly don't want to leave it at that, and we will be contacting everyone with follow-up opportunities to learn more and things like that. So any questions, hit us on Slack. Again, don't forget to use the @ symbol to alert the person you're trying to talk to. But other than that, we'll catch up with you next week. See you later.